What if instead of more, what we need is less? This is the Ricoh GR IV Monochrome. It is a ridiculously expensive point-and-shoot camera that only shoots in black and white. And for the last 3 weeks, I've taken it everywhere. I'm Becca. I take tech outside. And I think this camera is too expensive, but it has shown me that everybody needs to be experiencing a bit more of this. Last week was Google's big developer conference.
Excited to be back for this year's I/O. It's been a period of hyper progress.
Where the company announced AI features.
Now you can vibe code any creative tool you can think of.
And some more AI features.
You can hover over an element and click to remove it.
And that's right, you guessed it, even more AI features.
And then a single image becomes 16 unique videos.
Oh, this hurts my creative soul. You see, I do think there is a time and a place for AI, but when it comes to making stuff, I believe the real guts of that, the juice of that, the most fulfilling parts of that always come when you have the least. I have this camera shot that I do oh so very often. It's where I attach a camera to another camera via this thing, a magic arm. And the only reason I started doing this was because I had no money to hire someone to film me using these cameras. And I just thought if I could build a rig that films both the camera and me while I'm using the camera, well then I could just film myself. I don't even have to put a tripod down. That shot will never get old. This is creativity. And that is a camera that out of the box forces you to be creative. As the name suggests, the GR IV Monochrome shoots only in black and white. Its sensor literally cannot see color. And there are some benefits to that beyond limiting you. Let me explain that part first. Inside this camera is a 25.7 megapixel APS-C sensor. Normal cameras that can capture color, they have what's called a bare filter array over their pixels. It kind of looks like this. It's a mosaic of red, green, and blue filters that helps decode color information. That's before it hits the pixels. But with the monochrome, this filter doesn't exist. Instead, raw light data is hitting the pixels of the sensor. And because there's no filter reading color, and therefore blocking some light, it can produce a clearer image at high ISOs and capture more detail. Now, I don't have a standard GR4 to compare this to, so you'll just have to take my word for it that anything above 10,000 ISO with this nice of grain is kind of wild. This right here is another cool built-in feature to the Ricoh GR IV Monochrome. It's a red filter. A red filter only allows specific wavelengths to pass through it. So take blue and greens, for example. Because the filter blocks these shorter wavelengths, very little light from a blue sky actually reaches the sensor. And because less of that light is hitting the pixels, those parts of the image are more underexposed. And then the opposite is true of reds, like these umbrellas that now appear brighter with the red filter on. I also paired this camera with a quarter black Pro Mist filter, and what that does is diffuse light. So you can see it in this photo especially. Oh, I love it so much. And if you want to look at way more of the photos I took with the GR IV Monochrome, thanks to this video sponsor, Framer, you can. In the span of about an hour, I created a website for this camera using Framer. I started with a template, then I got to personalizing, all without writing a single prompt or a piece of code. You see, Framer works far more like a design tool, think Figma, which is exactly what my creative brain likes. And new to Framer is an answer engine optimization tool. People are increasingly getting their answers from ChatGPT, Perplexity, Gemini, instead of going to Google. So if your site isn't AI readable, you're likely losing visibility that you can't see in your analytics. So Framer built a tool to run your site through to see how it fares in the new wild west of AI search. And it doesn't have to be a Framer website either. I ran my GR IV Monochrome site through it, and to my surprise, not that bad. The AI tool can also show you exactly what your site needs to improve to have better visibility. If you're ready to test your site, I put a link to Framer's AEO scanner down in the bio, and again, it doesn't have to be a Framer website to test it out. There's also a link to the GR IV Monochrome's website if you want to look at more of the photos. But now, let's talk about how it feels to use this camera. Any camera in the GR lineup is, by definition, less. There's just not much to them. A single button turns them on, all your controls are on your right thumb, they fire fast, their focus is, for the most part, accurate, and you could just stash it in any pocket, bring it anywhere, you'll never feel it. And because of all that, it doesn't take you out of the moment. Not to mention the back screen is relatively low res and incredibly reflective, so you can't really view your photos back well. But then you get home and you view them on a larger screen, and you realize just how powerful this little thing is. And that inspires you to shoot even more, to bring it more places. But obviously the hallmark feature of this camera is that it only shoots in black and white. And after a few days of only shooting that way, you start to see the world that way. Suddenly a sky isn't about how blue it is, but instead how contrasty the clouds are. A sign isn't about its faded colors, but its shape. And there's really no post-processing to do here, other than maybe adjusting contrast. I really didn't expect to love this camera as much as I do, but the funny thing that happened when I started using it is that I was forced into its world. I couldn't tailor it to how I usually shoot, and then I ended up loving the results I was getting. And those results, I was putting them in the video that you're watching, and they look different from my normal photos. So I was using different sound effects, I was using different music, I was creating a whole different vibe than I usually do. I mean, I'm a lo-fi girly. I start this video with acoustic. And when you prompt something in AI, you're kind of guiding it. But when you're given a tool that only does so much, you're guided by it. That's where creativity happens. The only problem is that this thing is $2,200. And I don't know about you, but I don't have that much to spend on a point and shoot camera. So I thought up some other ideas that could get all of us more creative using what we got. All right, using only my phone, we're out on a hunt for the color red. This first one is a photography challenge that is as old as time. Pick a color, any color, and shoot only that color all day. Make it red, make it blue, make it pink, whatever it is. If you see something of that color, take a photo of it. Next challenge, shoot in one location and one location only for a set amount of time. I did this in the creek behind my house. I put my rain boots on, I got in the creek, and I stayed in there for a half hour, shooting only what I could take a photo of from the creek. And yes, my feet did get cold. I even got creative with how I filmed myself doing this challenge. I decided to put an action cam underwater and shoot the camera through that, and I kind of love this shot. Maybe you get creative with props and you like only shoot through stained glass. Can you see through that? Probably not. Maybe. Another idea, you could tape over your EVF or your screen, or just flip your screen in and shoot blind for a day. All right, how about this? Dig out your least used lens. It's probably this one. Oh my god, it's just a pinhole. I can say with great certainty I have never ever used this lens. Challenge accepted. You might remember why it has so much dust on it, or you might like it because you haven't used it in a decade and you totally forgot what it could do. If you have any other ideas like this, please drop them in the comments. I want to know, other people probably want to know, but above all else, two more things. Number one, commit to just doing something weird and creative. I promise it'll be more fun than you think. And two, don't be critical of your results. Remember that this is for fun. Being creative should be for fun at its core. So just like go have fun and make art. It'll probably be bad. That's the best art anyway. I'm Becca. I appreciate you so much. In the age of AI, I think that us making stuff with our own brains and our own hands is gonna be more important than ever, and it's gonna feel better than ever. Because when you make something with a computer, yeah, it's cool, but like, did you really make it? Anyway, I appreciate the hell out of you, and I'll see you on the next one.